Good afternoon. This is Deb Amlen for the New York Times, and if we look like we're in a different place than usual, we are. It's our very first road trip. We're here in Pleasantville, New York, with NPR Puzzle Master and Crosswords editor Will Shortz. Welcome.
Hey there, Deb.
Actually, welcome us. You should be welcoming us.
Well, thank you for coming.
I come here a lot.
Yes,
You know.
and I know also my solving buddy, Sam Ezersky, associate puzzle editor. We have a great puzzle today, don't we?
It's a very fun puzzle. This is by constructor Emily Carroll. This is her 8th puzzle for the Times, her 2nd Thursday, and coincidentally 3 years since she had her debut for the New York Times. I don't think we intended that. So
No. So happy debut anniversary, Emily.
And if you, a solver, are watching us right now, if you have your guesses, put them here in the comments, and we'll do our best, Will included. We can call you
Absolutely.
out. It'll be a lot of fun.
We're going to be solving with Will today and talking a little bit about the editing process and how the puzzle was selected to be published. So let's get started. Do we have anybody joining us yet?
Not yet, or my stream needs to buffer.
Okay,
But I mean,
there's a little bit of a lag, but I can tell you how I got
talk
into
about your
this
gimmies.
puzzle.
That's how we always start.
Okay. My gimme, I don't know if this is says something about me or not. Whoops. Was it 19 across? Cotillion VIP.
Huh.
I always love it when my
Yeah,
name
I
is
wonder.
in the
Yeah,
puzzle.
I wonder why you got that one so quickly.
There you go. All right, and we're in. It's like I always say, an empty puzzle looks scary to a lot of solvers, but when you're in, you're solving. Now the trick is to just expand on that and keep going. Let's see.
How do you expand on that in a particular area, Deb?
Well, I would take a look at some of the crossers. Dirty Harry's group. Well, Dirty Harry, that was the Clint Eastwood movie.
Bruce Giordano has that one actually.
Oh,
SFPD.
Good. I actually put in NYPD. I don't know why. I
Wrong
didn't
side of the
remember
country.
exactly. So you're right. Thanks for that, Bruce.
There we go.
D. And whoopsie.
DD.
San Francisco Detective.
Hello to Honey 604. Glad you're joining us. Honey 604
Absolutely.
has plasma at 17 across
Let's take a
off
look
the P
at
right
that
there.
one. Blood component. Absolutely.
It's gotta
Thank
be
you.
plasma. Now that we had the letter in there. Boom.
Okay. Where else are we going, guys? Come solve with us.
I would
Come-
look at 14 across because
Okay.
a word starting with F is more distinctive than something ending in LE.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there we go. Finalize as plans.
Mm-hmm.
That one's Carolyn Elise agrees with plasma.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a less common letter.
Well,
We-
I think that if you're finalizing them, you're probably firming them up.
There you go.
Hey, you don't say.
Plus that I looks really good there.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
yes.
Let's check that one out. It flows past Memphis. I love this clue.
Yeah.
This was funny because the first thing most people, at least most people in the United States, would probably think of is Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes.
But it's not Memphis, Tennessee, is it?
And Mississippi River
Right.
is too many letters.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not Memphis, Tennessee, is it, Will?
No, it's the ancient Memphis in Egypt.
Exactly.
Wait.
And what flows past it would be the Nile.
Didn't we waffle over this one, or Andy brought this up in fact checking because Memphis
It's
technically.
not a modern city, but there
Okay.
are ruins of Memphis, and they are in the Nile.
So we wondered if
Yes.
this really held water.
And this
which-
being Thursday, that's a perfectly cromulent
perfectly.
thing
That's
to
We're
do,
always
right.
saying cromulent
That's right.
there.
We
Bingo.
have people who expect us to say that at least once every stream.
Yes.
So we got that in early.
Caroline Elise has 4 down
Ah.
IMs.
Let's see.
I guess it could be DMs.
Responds to on WhatsApp, say. Yeah, I love
or if
WhatsApp.
it's 2010 PMs.
Right. Or DMs, direct messages.
That's the modern lingo that
Okay,
everybody's
so look
using.
at this. This is coming together pretty well. Extremely slow speed. Huh.
Got nothing. Got nothing
6
there.
letters, that's not obvious.
No, it's not. In fact, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back. Alan L. Weiner says that 6 down could be space, and we can jump back
see.
to that too.
Elbow room. That
sounds
could
right.
be space. Let's drop. Oopsie. Let's
Kathy
drop
O's
that in
back
there.
with us in his cromulent bingo. Yes,
All
indeed.
right.
Thank you. Bruce Giordano agrees with space. Come on, come
right.
join us, you guys. Will's here too.
Bruce is a bit of a ringer. He joins us every week.
He's
I think
every
he's done the
week.
puzzle
we
already.
got a lot of diehards here.
Exactly.
I was gonna say 3 down, just based on
Yeah.
how it crosses with 1 across. It looks like you're gonna want a vowel there. at that first letter.
Absolutely.
It
to
looks
me.
like Arab something.
It
Arab
does.
something.
Yeah, right, because much for the world's oil shipping, that would make sense.
It comes from the Arabian Sea, according to EDW David.
Oh.
So we've got 10 letters of real estate entered in
There
there.
you go.
So
This
that's
corner's
helpful.
almost done.
Arabian Sea.
Go ahead and enter it. 3 down.
Oh.
There we go. Bada boom.
There we go.
And you know, Deb, I think you said this was a gimme too, crossing it at 39 across.
39
off the
across.
S right there. ER
Absolutely.
inserts.
As somebody who's raised 2 kids, I've spent a lot of time in the ER.
Wow.
And I think, I went there. Yeah. The ER inserts, it's a plural clue, so it's going to be a plural answer, and the answer is IVs.
And because ER is abbreviated, that suggests an abbreviated
There we
answer.
go. We're always
Exactly.
talking about
There
that
you
kind
go.
of stuff. Hey, look at that. Veteran constructor Tracy Gray is watching us
Hey,
from
Tracy.
Facebook.
Hi,
Has
Tracy.
already solved the wonderful puzzle this morning. Tracy's got a puzzle coming up
She
in about a
does.
month
That's
from now. I don't
terrific.
even know if she knows that yet.
Oh, I just told her yesterday.
It's interesting. A couple of people are saying snail. I wonder
I
if
had
that would
Lorraine
be here.
Rideau, Gendarle.
Extremely slow speed snails.
But
That's
that
not.
really doesn't make sense,
No,
does
it
it?
It's in the ballpark, but that's a plural
You know what though?
noun.
We're
just
gonna
move on.
string this out a little
Yeah.
bit, and we're going to come back to that.
We've got guesses for ices at 23 across in the
Ooh,
plural.
whoop.
Rebelel. They're served with. That's a nice fresh
I
clue.
did not
that was
know that.
That was her clue, I think. We didn't
think
change
it
very
was,
many
yeah.
Emily's clues.
Emily
She's a
wrote
great
good
clue
clues.
writer. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can get this
Spoon
one.
straws, this is fun.
24 down, quick smoke.
With a question mark, so don't take this one at face value,
Exactly.
you guys.
I like this because a quick smoke could imply that it's somebody went out for a quick smoke and it wasn't a long break. But the quick here actually means something else. It means
For
Shortened.
short. You
Yes.
would have gotten this one instantly, right? You
Yeah.
know this trick all too well.
absolutely.
So that's going to be SIG, which is, well, short for cigarette.
Short for cigarette.
Here we go. This is one of the clues. Thank you, Caroline Elise. This is one of the clues I wanted to talk about because
Which
this
one?
is just a cool highlight to our editing, Will. 21 down is USA.
Ah. Oh, I like this
So,
one.
the clue that was given to us, because when the puzzle was submitted, what was it, a year ago?
Sure.
The clue was 2015 Women's World Cup winner.
Right.
So we updated it.
Well,
just like
yes,
it.
we had reason to celebrate. And if I could, this one goes with another clue.
57 down. I was a
57
step ahead of you.
down.
Nice fresh clue.
Jill-
Hat tip to Will for
Right.
this one.
This
Jill
one's I'm
Blank.
proud of. When the USA won the World Cup this year, I noticed that Jill Ellis was the coach, and I thought,
Yep.
this name comes up a lot.
Yeah, this name
Let's
comes
use
up a
this
lot.
the next time it comes up in a puzzle. Boom.
And that was
Like
a great
being
way to
Kirk.
celebrate their victory.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was a cool set of twin clues
Somebody
there.
should let them know about that. I think I'm going to tweet at
Please
them
do.
after
You
this.
have the power to do so. You've got the verified tag.
There you go.
Let's see.
Okay.
Nicole Xavier 111 says 46 across is abs.
46
um,
across. Something a push-up strengthens for short. Well,
So I like that.
I guess
but,
if you're contacting your core, it might.
but
But
There's
they-
one little thing that bothers me about that answer.
Yeah.
The clue says something
Yeah.
a push-up strengthens, and abs is really plural. So
Right.
I would hesitate to put that in.
it's still
Exactly.
a perfectly cromulent guess though.
There you go. That's double
but
bingo.
what do we? I mean, what do we do if we're not sure if it's going to be abs or not? We got to check our
we,
crosswords.
we close the puzzle and give up.
Well, we can do that. But, hey, that's our mission, right?
Okay,
So
right.
that's what we want you to do, of course.
Okay. No, actually, and this is something I think I wrote in the column, is the puzzle, especially on a Thursday, is a really good tug of war. But this is a game, a tug of war, that the constructor and the editors actually want you to win. So don't give up. Don't listen
Even
to
if it's a
anything I
Saturday,
say.
don't give up.
Right.
I have this Saturdays. Please don't give
So
up.
USA and Jill Ellis. This was
That's
an interesting one that you wanted to talk about. Look to the blank, thou sluggard, and it's a biblical quote from Proverbs 6:6.
I had no idea. You suggested this clue,
This was
and
a
it
quote
seemed
I
like a really
knew.
good.
Okay.
It was a cool clue.
And I'll tell you a little backstory
Sure.
on this clue.
Okay.
We wrote down the clue as you see it here.
Mm-hmm.
One of our test solvers said that we usually quote the King James version of the Bible rather than other versions.
Right.
And in the King James version it says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard."
Now, can I just stop you here and say that I'm really amazed that the bunch of you actually know this stuff. You know,
Yeah.
We know a lot of crap.
We do, and we're extremely nitpicky. I crack
Exactly.
jokes about
Well,
so
no,
these are
and
the
it's-
things we think about, like using the word go versus using the
Right.
word look for clarity and a more interesting clue. I think
Yeah,
is
yeah.
I will tell you how I got this. The fact that it had the word sluggard in it, and I know that ants are very industrious,
Right.
so I figured it was look to the ant thou sluggard.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
And
you.
now you will never forget that.
Never.
quote.
No, never.
Never.
That's what's great. One of my favorite things about Crosswords, I say this every week
Right.
for context, is that you get to come away with the puzzle learning something that you didn't know before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I learned that when I was editing the. Now I have to play editor today. I can't
Right.
even pretend to
Nope.
solve. I'm all because
Nope,
I'm.
you're not off the hook yet. What else have we got?
We've got lots. First of all, Nicole Xavier 111 is like test solvers. Whoa, yes, we need test
Oh,
solvers.
yes, every puzzle-
We can't
We
just
How
do
have
many
this.
10.
tests?
We have 10 test solvers.
We got
Wow.
all sorts in
So the
multiple
puzzles
various
go
stages.
through a lot before people get to solve them.
A lot of
So
TLC.
after we edit, I'll say usually it's Joel Faliano and I
Mm-hmm.
edit together. On this particular puzzle, Joel was on vacation, so it was
Sam
Sam
step
and
up.
me. And
How perfect is that?
after the puzzles are edited and typeset, we send them out to 4 test solvers. One of them rechecks every word in fact after us.
Wow.
And after that, they are polished. They go into the Times where a 5th person, Ellen Ripstein,
Right.
tests the puzzles as she prepares them for different versions that they come out in.
And Ellen is not just any old person. She is a champion
Speedy.
crossword solver.
Speedy.
She's
solver.
a former national champion.
Exactly.
And then they go to many other people to look over one more time in case there's something that we missed.
Right.
I've got more guesses from solvers pouring in.
wonderful. Let's
I was gonna
keep
say
going.
Cuthbert has 37 down. Sal. Gimme for some though.
Yeah.
I just
Tell him,
learned
Sam.
about 10 minutes ago how to
Right.
pronounce the guy's last name.
That was
It's
I
Minio.
think that was a high kids for
High
me.
kids? Oh, it's
Right.
very much a high kids for
Right.
for me. I
But
learned this name through
Sal
Crosswords.
Minio, and this is something
Wheelhouses.
that you'll probably remember, was a co-star in the James Dean movie Rebel Without a Cause. That was probably what he's best known
I know
for.
that through the crossword clues.
There
yes,
you go.
There you go.
All right,
Here we
what
go.
else we
Moving on. Alan L. Weiner says that 27 down, crossing the V of IVs, is liver.
Ah, let's see.
5-letter body
Neighbor of
part
the
with V in the
gallbladder.
middle.
There you go.
There, today
Boom.
I learned.
There we go. And here's one. I mean, just again, talking about wheelhouses, a gimme for some. Others might need every letter, and that's perfectly okay. EDW David has 47 across off that
Ah.
L.
Wow.
Mrs. John Quincy Adams is Louisa,
Wow.
First Lady. And
Thank you,
I
EDW.
think you pulled that one out of thin air, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go, boom. Everybody's
There you
got
go.
everybody's got their
Well,
wheelhouses, but
you don't see too many Louises these days.
No, we
No.
needed
Yeah.
Mrs. Adams. Yeah.
or Louisa May Alcott.
well,
it was
Louisa
one of
May
the two.
Alcott was too easy.
That was too easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a good point to bring up. You know, when you're editing, there are a lot of things you could clue an answer as, but you have to be very mindful of what day of the week it is.
Right.
Exactly.
For a Monday or Tuesday puzzle, we would have gone with Louisa May Alcott.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, continuing off of wheelhouses, we can also jump down to 71 across in the bottom left. And I'm almost
Oh, there you
positive
go.
that
This
that
was
was
your
my
clue.
clue.
Yeah. this was one I did not know. I just knew it was a plural, so I dropped an
Put
S.
the S in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, hey, but that's how you
That's-
solve. So-
Exactly. And then I went to the crossers. But tell us, Sam.
So that's going to be tight ends. Short. The shortening
For
is
short.
For short, TES.
There you go. So TES may not look like a word in the puzzle. It may look like nonsense, but it actually is a cromulent word.
It's a bit of
And-
glue.
Yeah.
An
and
answer like that gets like a little minus from us sometimes. Maybe.
That's a minus.
That's-
It's also French for your.
Right.
So you'll sometimes see it clued that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like very limited in cluing ability, in clueability.
That
if
just
is
sets
right.
up good
Yeah.
stuff in the grid. It
Exactly.
It does. I mean, the rest of this bottom left, without spoiling a thing, is just absolutely dynamite. We had a
For
lot of checks
example,
around
now
it.
that I have the T, overlook I know has got to be omit.
There you go.
Nice.
And creative influence, that's got to be a muse.
Mue.
Oh.
Oh, geez,
No,
sorry.
no, that was.
Yeah.
Sam, I think.
No.
There
Yeah.
you go.
No,
That's
there we
okay.
go. Boom. Caroline
Occasionally I
Elise agrees
mistype.
with Muse. Jumping around, Arcobaleno Shano, welcome back, has 51 across, which is nay, another French word that
Right,
moves a lot
born in
English.
Bordeaux. Nay.
That's one of those,
Right.
maybe that could be a Monday or a Tuesday clue, but that's
Yeah.
3 letters in a Thursday. We
I
didn't
think-
need to think for
I
minutes
think
and minutes on
Arco is
end
one
about
of our
it.
Italian solvers. We actually
Yep.
get some international solvers. Is "nay" the same word in Italian,
We-
Arco?
No.
We
No.
get solvers.
Okay, well, I
You
knew
knew that
you knew
already.
that. We just tried to
Okay, so
engage.
yeah.
Right. There you go.
We've got-
So,
Sorry?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say we got a guess for Nice from Nicole Xavier 111 at 29 down, right in the middle.
29. Ah.
We have
there you
2
go.
out of
That's a
5
good
letters.
person.
Oh.
One crying uncle.
Yeah, this is a groaner.
Whose clue
Okay.
was that? Was that
Might have been. We
yours?
can check. I can
Yeah.
see that. That feels like an old chestnut, but probably.
29 down. Let's see. That's basically Emily's.
Yeah.
Okay.
An oldie for us, but a goodie, and
It's
an enjoyable
cute.
one.
It's a
we're
cute
we're
quote.
all about the dad jokes,
Right.
so we're always laughing. Kathy, where are
Apple-
you? I know you've heard me say this
Exactly.
every week.
Apple platform is definitely going to be iOS.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some that you get right off the bat, some you have to work on.
Bruce Giordano, really impressive here. This was a totally
Wow.
Thursday-ish clue too. 65 across. We have the M and the U, and then 6
Ah.
blank letters. But he knows that to grow quickly is
Yeah.
the verb form of mushroom.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's a great example of a Thursday
Very
clue
nice,
right
Bruce.
there. A bunch of different ways to clue that one.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline Elise has EDU at 52 down off the second E of nay.
And that's a great bit of wordplay. Campus extension, on the surface it sounds like maybe an extra campus that's attached to another one, but we have that question mark there. That means it's going to be wordplay, and we shouldn't take it at face value. The other kind of extension, and basically when you see something like that, your best way of solving it is to start to think about other things that the words and the clues mean. So an extension could be part of an email address,
Okay.
right? So the answer is .edu.
Wonderful. Now we have guesses for peck at that 46 across slot. Abs was a great guess.
there you go.
But
It is.
there's only one answer that can fit.
And it is something. It is.
99%.
It is
Yes.
singular.
And it's I think you're more likely to strengthen your pec than your abs when you're doing push-ups, although it depends on how you do them. And but again, it's okay to take that guess.
You
it's
have
okay
to
be
take
Take
wrong.
a guess.
You have to take
absolutely.
guesses.
But also don't be afraid to erase if it's not working
Exactly.
out.
Yes.
That's what the delete key is for. And the eraser.
Kathy O says, realizing clues were dad jokes totally helped my solving percentage. Great. I mean, really.
That's great. Karen Courtney Spencer. I'm
Has
sorry.
Sega.
That was one of
at
my gimmies,
63
too.
down. Nintendo
Nintendo
rival. There you
rival.
go. Boom. Throw it
4
in.
letters has to be Sega.
Maybe we can check that crosser at the G
Yeah.
and the
Ah,
I. That's
look at
not
that.
the most common letter pattern.
Shade on the visible spectrum. Anybody out there?
Well, we can come back to that. We know there's
Sure.
a bit of a lag. In the meantime, J.R. Darius 1 is really, really close with 58 across. It is Oh My God, or Oh My God. You
Yes.
just got to spell it so that it's
How do you spell it?
6 letters.
Well, the way
There
I've
you
always
go.
seen it is spelled this way, and that, of course, is abbreviated OMG.
Kathy O wants us to jump to 10 down.
10
that was
down.
a favorite
Pop
clue of
up
hers.
that way. Oh, I like
Pirate's
that one.
prop.
Pirate's prop. It could be anything. It could be
Mad
an
props.
eye patch. It could be a parrot.
A peg leg.
It
But
could
this
be
is
a
a
peg leg.
literal prop. Yeah.
Right. See, we brought a ring
But it's
today.
not a peg leg, is it?
No.
But
Is it?
the P is right, but
Okay.
it's not peg leg. I don't
Oh, is it not?
Oh, is
No,
it?
I thought
We
it
got peg
was.
legs.
Oh, sorry.
I remember checking
I was
that
thinking it was
it's
a
a
parrot. Okay.
See, and that's the tricky part.
We-
It could, that
is
could
that
fit.
these clues that we make can
Yeah.
even stump us? That's how
Exactly.
we know we've made it Thursday, right? So we got peg leg. Mike Stedham agrees with peg leg. Honey 604 has 70 across. It's
Wow.
indigo is the shade on the visible spectrum.
One of my favorite
That's the one.
colors.
Yeah, love indigo.
Indigo.
How about this? Oh my gosh, 68 down. We have the D as the second letter there, thanks to indigo. I mean, we need new clues for this answer all the time.
I feel bad
Oof.
for you guys in a sense, because every time I see something new, I think, God, what they must have gone through to come
Yeah.
up with a new clue.
We can sometimes spend 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very commonly used word in puzzles, and the answer is ode.
I gotta say though, sometimes those new clues just out of nowhere, they just They just have. I'll never forget for Ode. You just kind of came out and you're like, "How about this? It's an honor."
But it's very satisfying.
And I'll never forget that clue because I'm like, "You kidding me?" We've had like 200 clues for Ode over like 25 years of your editing, and you just came up with that one, which is just so.
It's
on
like
point.
the word Oreo. How many different ways have you called Oreo? I know.
See, Oreo, I feel like
don't bring
We're
up the
running out of
Oreos.
trivia.
Right.
we're running out of trivia. Liz Plowman says hi, Deb.
Hi, Liz.
Carolina Lee says seesaw. That very bottom answer.
Where are we?
73 across.
Ah.
I think Emily's original
Vacillate
clue.
wildly. That's a good
Emily's
one.
original clue was something like it has its ups and downs.
Oh, that's cute.
No, I think
No.
we were thinking about that one, but
Yeah.
then we thought that was classic.
Yeah.
Right? It was playground fixture, which was perfectly fine. We just wanted to Thursdayify it
Right.
if we could. So, it's just all these little things we nitpick. Liz Plowman is jumping right in with looser, right above indigo.
67 across. More relaxed. Exactly. Something
Indeed.
that's more is always going to have an ER or an IER ending. LOSER.
And
we go.
Hobbit Brain is joining us. I like that
Hey,
name.
Hobbit Brain.
At 56 across is Dame Judi Dench.
That's
Oscar
right.
winner.
She is Oscar winner for Shakespeare in Love, and contractually has to play Elizabeth I in every movie that's ever made about the British Queen.
Embarrassingly, I mean, we talk about wheelhouses. I would have still needed another letter or two to get that. I know.
Okay.
But I would have gotten 48 down, crossing it at the C.
Wow, where are we?
U blank C. NCAA
there
hoops
we
powerhouse.
go. Somebody before said that's definitely going to be a gimme for you, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Though I really would have wanted to put UVA in there because that's the
course.
only correct answer. Wahoo wah.
Wahoo.
Mike Stedham has UNC. M. Garrett Amini, who is sitting mere feet from me.
The evil
is
genius.
The evil genius behind all our technical work here. Hello,
Yeah.
Garrett. Has chimed in with ALD
Yes,
at
should.
61 across.
Should old acquaintance be forgot? That's the New Year's Eve
Somehow,
song.
that's a fresh clue for us. I think we've just always done like
really?
blank sign or like
Wow.
we hadn't
It's
done
usually
that one. I
blank
remember
design,
checking.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is,
Or like word in a
little
New Year's
twist on it.
You know what I find interesting
title.
about this is that even though it's Thursday and even though the clues are a little trickier and some of the words are a little trickier, I noticed that there are some gimmies and things that you put in so that people always
They
have a
should
way
have
in.
toe holds.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Everybody's got to have their toe holds, except on my
Or
Saturday.
fingernail holds,
Finger
however
holds,
you
yeah.
go.
Mashula UWS says that 26 across is flare. That looks...
Pizzazz. Okay, let's talk
Okay.
about
Yeah,
this.
we need to address the elephant in the room
So,
right now.
pizzazz, everyone here loves the 4Z pizzazz.
Including us.
Including us.
Yes.
That's how I always write it. But the New York Times style manual says there are only 3 Z's in pizzazz. So
And we do whatever the style manual
We
says.
have to
yes.
follow the style manual.
Exactly.
We have to.
In
There's
the
no
puzzle
choice.
and in the column. So,
Nora Sadig Cash says hi, guys.
hi, Nora.
Hello. Alan L. Weiner has round 1 at 42 down, which looks
Wow.
very
That's
cromulent
It
because
does.
we have a lot of letters there.
Well, we only have 2 letters left there. Start of a fight would be round 1.
Let's see how well people know their German. At 53 across, crossing it is beneath in German.
Now, I think this is gettable.
That's we
I
hope
really
so. We don't want it to be too random.
Something that's beneath in English would be under,
Right.
and in German, perhaps it would be unter. I don't speak German, but that was an educated
And
guess.
the accent's not bad.
Thank you.
There we go. Well done, Deb. How about, okay, I'm curious. I think we should go to 40 across. And not do
Okay.
anything about it yet, but let's just present it.
Huh.
Because we have completely forgotten to talk about that there's a
That's
theme
right.
we're lurking somewhere in this puzzle,
We
and
do
this
have
is
a
our
point
revealer
here.
answer.
Right. Hey, look, we found a revealer here. Seedy hangout or a hint to finishing 4 across answers in this puzzle.
And this is
Wow.
where we, the editors, just get to sit back and say,
watch
you
people-
guys need some more letters.
That's right.
Have fun struggling.
We don't have that one
until
just
you're
yet.
going to have a great aha moment. We promise.
But we're
and you're
going to
gonna
get
finish this
there,
thing.
and you
We're
guys
gonna
are
get
going to
there.
help us.
Karen Courtney Spencer actually has it, but we're going to
Mike
wait for a
Stenham
few
said
others to have
34
it.
across is linger. Let's take a look
Right
at
below
that.
flare.
There we go. Stick around. To stick around is to linger.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at
Linger.
this.
You spelled it like Imgur.
Whoops. Sorry.
Or Jaromir Jagr.
That's lingre to you.
Yeah, that's the British spelling, right?
Right. No, the French.
Caroline Elise actually jumping around is 31 down, and this confirms the T in unter.
Ah.
You said it better than me. This is a very, very brutal clue. I
Wow.
mean, converse. That can
It
mean
really
so
is.
many.
Could
We don't
mean-
even know how to pronounce it.
You think it means to speak or to chat with somebody?
Right.
But
It could
this
be.
is-
It could be a sneaker.
But yes,
Could be the
E.g.
convert sneaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is antithesis.
Right. Which is the converse.
The converse. An accent on the first syllable there, but we can't tell you that.
We love clues like that on
That's
video.
right.
We do.
That's,
that was.
that's particularly mean.
This is brutal.
Okay, so where are we now?
I'm curious if we want to try and address that last letter in that bottom right. That's
Yeah.
nagging me.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. Brag.
To brag.
Well, you know what? Yeah, we're not sure, so let's take a look at the cross. or
something to hold money
in.
in. ES blank. I don't know. That's. I got nothing.
I don't know. And to brag, well,
Maybe
it
something's
could
up.
be. I mean, you could crow about something.
That sounds right.
That sounds
brag
is right.
crow.
Sam's really into just putting in any letters. Yeah, that's right. Let's
Hey, I
do
mean,
that.
But
Whatever
isn't that
helps.
weird?
But I
That
don't
clue
think
for
that-
62 across
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
It really
That
doesn't.
that must have been an oversight of ours.
Yeah.
It got by
It went
all
through
the
10
tech
people and
solvers.
nobody
Right.
noticed.
Nobody said a
exactly.
thing.
How many letters or emails would you say that you get saying I found a mistake in the New York Times crossword?
Used to get them all the time.
Yep.
Now they write you on WordPlay.
Exactly.
Or I
Right.
filter out the snail
Yeah,
mail
right.
that comes to you.
All right,
and
so we're not sure of this. Let's take it
bring
out.
to your attention.
Okay, we'll come back to it.
Well, then something to keep in mind. Honey604 has an idea of what's going on. But, let's see. Let's jump down to 45 down.
45
I liked
down.
this clue.
Let's
This
see.
was, I think, Emily's clue as well.
Oh boy.
Mailman? Question
Yeah.
mark?
2 words.
Two
Yeah.
words, so it's
So-
not a postal carrier.
Do not look
because,
at this at face
because
value.
a postal carrier would be one word.
And what else could mail mean? And
Well, this one I knew, but I was confused at first by the spelling of the first word because I know it as Maille. Is that a
Really?
style?
Huh.
Yeah,
I learned
It's chain mail, Maille.
maybe it has French.
That sounds
Roots?
French.
It.
Why? I just know chainmail. I spell it like
Yeah,
chainmail.
yeah.
I don't know if it's one word or
So
two.
if if there's a man and he's wearing chainmail, he would be what?
but a knight.
He'd be
A
a knight.
knight, right? A knight, as Monty Python would say.
Which is,
You say
which
the
is-
knights who say nay at 51
right,
across.
exactly. No, but see, it does have knee in it.
Yeah.
It's also think backward with a G stuck in.
Exactly.
Here we go.
There's-
This
here
is
we
the
go.
stuff you
This
don't
is-
get every
this is
Thursday
how
when it's
cryptics
just the
get
two of
written.
us. Yes.
Okay,
I
so
count the
look at this.
50s.
We're almost done with this corner. Use Google Eyes and make small talk say. Huh.
That was one of ours. We freshened that one
Okay.
up. What
What
junkyards do.
Well, they definitely reek.
Yes. So many guesses for night, by the way. Good job.
Right.
Mike Stedham says knights who say knee. That's a 15, by the way. There you go. That's what I'm good for.
Okay.
Alia Yvonne agrees with Knight. Morgie B, 2019 agrees with Knight. Alan L. Weiner, Bruce Giordano, Mike Stedham. You guys rock.
Wow, look at you guys go. Mike says 26 down is flirt.
There we go. And
Okay.
conveys. Well, that needs to
Oh.
end in an S.
Yeah.
But conveys isn't.
Huh,
but-
but that doesn't make sense
It-
either.
that-
And
doesn't either.
then
That's-
to add, fuel to the fire here, Caroline Elise is pretty confident that 50 down crossing it is sports.
Has on.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Sports a jacket, for
Could
example.
be. Could be.
This is so I couldn't, over infuse the puzzle with actual sports reference.
Let's see
We're
if
just
we can
doing
get this one.
sports as
Device
hassle.
that runs 36 across. I like how they're linked here. If it's running iOS and it has an I and a P, it's got to be an iPad,
Yeah.
right?
Do old iPods, did they run
I don't think
iOS?
so.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought mine had a crank.
That's a Garrett Amini question.
Okay.
Let's see. Sam Teigen or Tegan agrees with sports. Caroline Elise has a really good idea about what's going on. We're gonna keep building up.
Good for
I
you,
saw
Caroline.
a guess earlier for 69 across right below mushroom by 000900AAA. Sure.
Okay.
For is
Can we
it
call you
true?
Zero for short?
Yeah, let's just call you
Okay.
Zero for is it true?
Where is
below
that?
mushroom.
Ah.
For real?
For real is it. That looks like it would work.
Good crossing letters.
Good
Like
crossing letters indeed.
Very
So omit,
This one,
use,
I think,
ice.
once you have a certain pattern, you can pretty much predict that.
It's a
that has to be
50-50
door.
shot. You
Could
just
be
have
a
to
dorn or a door.
It could be, but the
The
clue
E's
says
looking better.
absolutely.
And then
Opposite of closeted, definitely going to be
is
out.
out. There you
Yep.
go.
And let's see if we can
that
get
was a
this
fresh
one.
clue, too.
Hardens. Well, that's
It's
a
S in the clue.
It's got to be. And let's see this one. This was one I almost had to look up, but I managed to get it through the crossings. It's NASA's Ames Research Center.
That's just us getting bored of cluing Ames, Iowa.
Right.
Right.
For the Big 12 college town. So let's go. So I still am a little hung up on 49 across. Now that we know trans has to be right, but that
Right.
doesn't make an iota of sense.
No, it doesn't. And iota being another word that's in the puzzle a lot. Snails,
skosh.
extremely slow speed is
And
very, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like it fits.
And we still thought that, ESC might work for 62 across.
Mhm.
Maybe worth just putting in
Yeah,
there
go
because
ahead,
we
put
know
it
it's
in.
crow.
God.
But I don't know. Something's clearly amiss.
Right.
Sam Teagan liked sets below and firm up above, little parallelism right there. That's nice. See, those are the finds that just jump out to something.
Also,
Right,
72
exactly.
across is sets, and 71 across is set back.
Right.
It's a setback.
So
That's a
at
puns
this-
and anagrams.
At this
right
point, you don't know which way you're going.
Yeah.
You really don't.
We'll just clue that one as
I want to get 5 down.
Yeah.
This one's bothering me because it's so long. Let's see. Proceeded heavily and awkwardly. Well, it's a past tense, so we know there's going to be a D there. And I would say it's got to be
There were guesses for lumbered earlier.
okay.
I can scroll
for
up
you
and
guys.
see,
You
but
got it
good job
before I
to
did.
all you guys. Bruce Jordanen is 40 across.
Yep.
We can get one more crosser. How about 35 down? I think that was one we
35 down.
for the second that crosses the second
Ah.
letter 40 across.
I
so
like
we
this
freshened
clue.
up.
Right. This was not the original clue, from what I
I think
understand.
the original clue is something like tear with force.
Right.
Which is fine.
Which is, to rip something is to tear with force, but I like this one. This one's a lot of fun.
Sometimes we just sit there and go like, maybe it's worth thinking some
Just
more.
brainstorm.
Just
yeah.
why not? Why not?
So we have the revealer, and we've got
Is this like some sort of truncation of a dining car? Like
Could
dine
be.
car? Is that a thing?
how about dice car? You
Dice
think it's
car.
dice
Ooh,
car?
so that's box cars. Like when
Could-
you roll,
right, exactly, see?
2 6s. So dice cars.
Uh,
Well, here's one thing. I
that
just
would be
wanted
a
to
secret
say.
magnet.
I wanted to say that J.R. Darius one has pointed out that one across snails. It really should be, going at a snail's pace. That's the extremely slow speed,
It
but
should
snail's
be,
pace doesn't
but there's
fit
nothing there. There's only a black square there. We're
One-
gonna have to figure this out.
in there. One Steve Kennedy agrees
I
with
know a lot of
RIP.
people are shouting it out, and we really love the fact that you got it way before we did. We're going to come to it. The whole thing's going to come full circle, so please be patient with us and help us solve the rest.
I'll wait for
Have
you
a
to-
sudden inspiration. I
love
liked
this
this one. I really did.
Props to
Again,
Emily. That was all
it-
her.
It is a question mark clue, so you can't read the surface meaning, which is, if you have a sudden inspiration, you have a good idea. But if you inspire and you do it suddenly, that would be a gasp. I like that.
Nice. We can so maybe what's
Nice wordplay.
what's 8 down? Because that's just 3 letters. Why not just check that?
Order in target practice. Well, you've
Ready?
got ready. You've
Yeah,
got.
go ahead.
Sure,
It's
bow and
okay.
arrow.
No.
String your
It's-
bow.
You're the guest.
Yeah.
It's order in target practice. It's got to be fire, right?
The one before
What
that.
comes between ready and fire?
And it's not in
all
order
right.
like an arrangement.
It's aim.
This is what we're telling you to do.
There we go.
Nicole Xavier 111. I
Oh,
definitely
all
want
these
to go to
people
this.
are yelling
Yeah,
out the
I know.
thing.
I was gonna say 13 down could be either mini or MIDI, depending on what Joe Faliano is deciding to create downstairs.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite kinds of clues where it could be it's off by one letter, and it could be one or the other.
Part of Caesar's boast, it's going to start in 4 letters. It's going to start with a V and then
Right.
an I, and you wait
You
for
don't
the
know.
other middle two.
Part of a Latin
Exactly.
trio, then
Right.
it gets even worse because you don't know if it's Amas or Amat,
Right.
or it's part of
Right.
Caesar's best.
There was one clue once that I absolutely loved. I think the clue was bronze, silver, and gold. 5 letters, M-E blank A-L.
Oh, yeah.
So would it be metal, M-E-D-A-L, or M-E-T-A-L? That was
where
a
we get
killer.
you. Lots of people agree with AIM.
Okay.
J, I'm going to pronounce it J14 because that looks like a Roman numeral. Boomer Bop. Carolina Lease. One Steve Kennedy. Alpine Joy says it could be Maxie too.
It could be.
Spoiler, it's one of those two. That
Oh, God, I spoiled the eye. Sorry. Somebody said, who is it?
Alan
Alan
L.
Wiener?
Omega Man.
Omega Man.
Charlton
Wow.
Heston.
That was
Nice.
one I hadn't heard of. Omega Man.
Did
Whoops.
the get added there? Or was that part of the title role? I wasn't sure if we had the with the in our
We
original
didn't,
clip.
and Frank convinced us
Oh.
that if it's a title role and the is part of the title, then you should add the to
Right.
the
Frank,
clue.
Frank being Frank Longo, one of the
One of the
checkers.
goats.
Yeah. He truly is a greatest of all
genius.
time.
Morgie
Yes.
B, glad you're having fun. We're here every Thursday at 1, by the way. So if this
That's
is your
right.
first time here, come back next week too. Keep
Happy
those
to have
guesses
you
coming.
here.
Nicole Xavier
In fact, we're going to be coming up here every week and bothering Will. He's going to be a guest on the show every week now.
all right, Honey 604 has B cup for 20 across,
Ah,
which
okay,
that's the
well,
only thing that even fits. there.
Yeah. With that pattern of letters.
Indeed.
Victoria's Secret spec. There you go.
And Lorraine Rideau has Vend at 41 down, crossing our
41 down.
revealer answers. This is
And that's why everybody's been shouting out Dive Bar. Look at
because
that.
it fits.
That is
Because
a
it
CD
fits.
hangout. Yeah,
It is a CD hangout, but what does that have to do with
and
the
there's
theme?
It says there's a hint.
To
finishing 4
across
across
answers in
answers?
this puzzle.
Okay, so we need to find 4 across answers and figure out how Dive Bar relates to it.
Just a thought, just
Okay.
totally spitballing here, you guys. Maybe 1 or 2 of the across answers that we were having trouble with understanding earlier might be integral to the theme.
No.
Okay, just my 2 cents, just off the
That
cuff.
couldn't be.
It's my first time solving this thing.
Well, let's see. Simple step is going from A to B.
Always tough to
And,
parse for newer solvers, but that is a
absolutely.
3-word
What
answer.
what is an ATOB? I get a lot of that.
It's
on the
AOB.
column. Yeah.
I'll never forget when I saw Ataz in the
Yes.
puzzle for the first time, and it was one of the times puzzles, so it didn't have parentheses like 3 words next to it, and I thought for sure something.
Now,
was
there's
wrong.
an argument going on in the comments as to whether 7 down is goop or glop. Now, I think that hardly Michelin star fare, it could be either one, but if you look at the crossing,
Yeah.
scholarly sorts.
Which letter looks better there, an O or an L?
Unless it's
Oil
unless
something.
scholarly sorts are oi
Unless
something, it's not gonna
it's I Weiwei, the first letter of this answer is not a vowel. I can tell
Exactly.
you that right now.
Yeah.
be. I'm gonna put in glop, because I think that the answer, especially since it ends with an I, that's got to be literati.
There you go.
There we go.
Literati.
And we
Okay.
just had a Twitterati in a recent Friday.
That was a good
That
one.
was
I like
very
that.
fresh. J.R. Darius 1 has 22 across. Eli.
Wow.
The more you know.
There you go. Whoopsie. Eli. I'm typing slowly so you don't get on me, Sam.
Oh, good.
There you go.
I think
Okay,
it's
all
all
right.
part of the fun.
Sign of Spring. This was an odd one. I didn't get this one at all. Let's look at the downs. Let's look at the crossers. If you're up for it, you're game. And Latin catch-all would be the abbreviation et al., which is an abbreviation for et alia.
But a sign of spring's not a gem.
That's right.
So we had 4 answers that don't make sense.
Right. We've got snails. We've got gem. We've got
Trans.
Trans.
We have ESC at 62.
LFE.
What's fascinating is that they all make for legit crossword answers too.
Yeah.
So they look like they're
Everything
so right.
in the puzzle is a legit answer so far.
Alpine Joy thinks that we should explain bar. as far as the puzzle clue is
Well, you know
concerned.
what? Alpine Joy, we are going to get to that. That is part of the theme today, and we're going to wrap it up. But let's finish the puzzle first. I think we're almost there. Let's see. Brew, to brew something. We don't know whether that's like a brewski, if it's a noun, or if it's a verb.
Have a steep.
Yeah, if you're brewing something, you're
You
steeping
steep
it.
the tea.
Exactly.
That's the correct.
25 across the outdoor section of a zoo. That's got to be apes.
Honey 604 says exactly what happened with 11 across.
Oh man, Honey's
spoiling
got. I
it
think a
before
lot
the
of people.
end, or we
they've
waiting?
got. They got it way before we did. Employee incentives, raises.
Yes. Yeah. Double your pay, Deb.
Right, there you go. See? Didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
Everybody
okay.
bears with
What
me.
a shift, huh?
Jay Mordner says gears.
Okay. If could shift gears, I like that. Look at this. We've got 4 squares left. We're going to fill in the rest of the puzzle, but we're going to open it back up and discuss this mystery theme that we haven't been able to get
do
so far.
not go
Yes.
anywhere.
Do not
Please,
adjust your
please,
puzzle.
please, because we're going to talk all about this theme too.
Okay.
Alpine Joy actually is asking like a great question about how 49 and its finished answer doesn't dive necessarily out of bar, but we'll clear
We're
that
going to
up shortly.
explain it, and then
So
we're going to
hang
explain
tight.
it quickly, and then I'm going to talk to Will and Sam a little bit about the editing process for the puzzle.
Yeah, we didn't tell you about the hot seat.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, word with cap or crab. That's
was
got to
my
be
clue.
snowcap. I was a little confused because I didn't know that snowcap with a W was a thing. I thought it referred to the candy, which is SN.
Us
No.
naturally always thinking of the foods first.
Well, that's me. I
Your
guess I'm only in it for the
snow-capped
food.
mountains.
Yes, snow cap, exactly, and a snow crab. When Roseanne aired for most of its original run, abbreviation, well, maybe it's a day of the week, but let's check. To get out of bed is to rouse, and admit to office within would be swear, and you would follow that with
Ta-da!
swearing, ta-da!
Woo!
And look at you guys. You have solved a Thursday New York Times crossword puzzle. That is not an
But
easy
we're not
thing to
done
do.
yet.
We are not done yet. Will, you want to take us through the theme?
What's the theme, man?
So, the middle at 40 across, it's dive bar.
Right?
And there are 4 answers that dive. So, one across,
Oh.
snails, it's not snails, it's snail's face.
Snails.
Which
Space.
answers the clue extremely slow speed. And notice that space, which comes
Yeah.
down, is a variety of bar.
Ah.
A space bar on a keyboard.
I missed that.
Or just in outer
But I
space.
updated it. I updated the column. So and thanked everybody who wrote in to tell me about it. So
We're all only human.
basically, if you're moving at an extremely slow speed, you are moving at a snail's pace. It's broken up actually here between the first and second letter, and the entry takes a dive here
At the bar.
at the bar. Okay. This one was a tough one for me, but sign of spring is actually Gemini.
That's me. Let's
Oh,
go.
really? Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So Gemini
And 13 down is a
and
mini bar.
There we go.
There we go. So
Space
now we
bar,
have
mini bar.
trans, which is conveys, is actually transports, as a lot of people knew before. And you have a sports bar.
Alpine Joy, just wanted to say, you're making our day here. That we talk about the aha moment.
Right.
And here you are saying, aha, this is exactly what we're looking for.
And Carolyn
Elise,
Elise
love this
also.
theme. J.R. Darius, one heart back at you.
And we, just one more. We have
yes.
ESC, which looks like the escape button on a computer, but it's not. Something to hold money in is an escrow.
You hold money in escrow and the brag and
Absolutely.
like a crowbar.
Except right.
Yeah, wild, right? We've got
Crowbar.
some head exploding emojis sent
it's
our way.
really, but you know what? That is really what pushing toward the Thursday puzzles is all about.
Exactly.
I mean, I hear a lot of people who say I'm a Monday through Wednesday solver. I haven't gotten to the Thursdays, but to me, it's worth pushing because this is your reward. Is to see things like this. I mean, the constructors and the editors work very hard to pull this sort of surprise on you, and I think it's really it's worth doing the Thursdays. And dare I say, even pushing
Just
to
keep
the
going,
Fridays and say, keep
Do
going.
this Saturday.
Exactly.
I mean, and just from the editing end, I mean, there's outside of even just the theme, there's so much good stuff in this grid.
Yeah, there are a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
good
true.
films. So, tell me, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Sure.
but tell me a little bit. Start with looking at the puzzle and deciding whether or not to accept it. How do you decide that a theme is fresh enough or good enough to merit publication in the New York Times?
So all three of us would have looked at Sam, me, and Joel would have looked at this puzzle. And there have been puzzles before where answers turn, but this was a fresh twist. That was
Right.
part of it.
And we haven't seen one in a long time.
Yes.
It's spaced out.
Yeah, so it felt sort of fresh again. And the twist of being a bar didn't just turn, there was a good reason for turning.
Right.
So besides that, the quality of the vocabulary was great. Look at 3 down, Arabian
yeah.
Sea, that's
That's
wonderful.
fantastic.
Antithesis
I like that.
is nice. Is it true? Mushroom, Omega Man, Literati. There's just a lot of juicy, interesting
I
stuff
even like
here.
something like Night because that can just get such a good clue
Right.
too. I mean, Emily just nailed it. There's so much fun here. in
Round
this
1,
grid.
start of a fight. When you see that clue, start of a fight, you don't know where it's going. But
Yep.
when you
Yeah.
get the answer, it clicks into place and it just feels good.
Yeah, it was a very satisfying puzzle to solve.
It's good
so
to hear.
now, so you've accepted it. What's the next step?
Put it, slot it for a particular day of the week. This was obviously going to be a Thursday.
Right.
Um,
Well, you say obviously. Tell us what makes it a Thursday.
So the Monday to Thursday puzzles always have themes. Friday and Saturday usually don't. This is going to be in a harder level of a theme because it's twisty.
Right.
So it's going to be the
Literally so.
It really is.
It's
literally
going to be the
twisting.
hardest of the themed puzzles.
Right.
It also has a pretty wide open diagram. A diagram that has 78 answers is going to be easier to do generally because there's lots of short answers. This has a lot of stuff in it that you've never seen in a puzzle before, so that naturally makes it harder. Another reason why it's a Thursday.
Right.
And once we selected it for publication, we would have looked at the grid, and in this case, we actually tweaked the grid.
Tell us
There
about
we go.
38 across.
So I don't know if I'll hold the grid up or I'll just
Right.
explain. 38 across the grid. The answer
It
given
says
to us
snow
was now it's snow. Manuscript said snot, which is not a nice thing, and
Yeah.
it's a word I try not to have in puzzles.
Right.
And I forget whether it was you, Sam, or Joel who tweaked the grid.
It was me.
There you go.
There you
So,
go.
you know, it came at the price of Unter. That
Right.
wasn't in Emily's original puzzle. Emily, if you were watching, I'm sorry.
We apologize.
But that's okay because you took out the snot and you it's
Didn't
a
even
small
need
price to
Kleenexes.
play. Right.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, but I mean, what? We just selected it and then we just
Yeah.
added the clues.
And then we edit the
Right.
clues, and as we said multiple times, Emily writes great clues.
Right.
On average, we edit about half the clues in the Times crossword, but it can vary from as little as 5 or 10% up to 90 to 95%.
How much
And,
would you say you edited on this one?
I'd say maybe
30?
30%,
Wow.
which is quite low.
That's
As
great.
a matter
For
of
someone who's
fact,
only
the-
had 8 puzzles in the New York Times, she seems to have caught on really quickly.
Oh yeah, excellent. I mean, we have more from Emily in our files.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Keep
know,
it up, Emily.
definitely a great constructor.
That's right. And I just wanted to say that last month we had a constructor spotlight on Emily Carroll that ran for about a month. It's in the Wordplay archive if you want to take a look at it. And it's just basically an interview with Emily telling us a little bit about her and bringing the constructors to the forefront.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
any other
great.
parting words? Anything?
Anybody else have any questions for Will? Where did Glop
Where did
come in?
glop come in? Sam Tigan says, my first thought was slop. Slop would have worked just as well,
Yeah.
but sasp
Yeah.
is not is nothing.
And then we wouldn't have had that great clue.
Yeah, exactly. There really were lots of great clues of Emily's in this puzzle. I mean,
Yeah.
that was hers. The night clue was hers. Lots of fun stuff in
Bruce
this one.
said he didn't get the theme until we explained it. You know, that's actually kind of common. If you're not used to seeing this kind of thing, a lot of times the themes can be kind of unexpected. You know, if you haven't been solving for a long time, who's going to figure out that the entry goes in a different direction? That's
No,
not
but we
something
did
that's
have the
intuitive.
hint. We had
Yes.
the explanation at 40 across. So when you get the answer dive bar, think about it. It says a hint to finishing 4 cross answers.
Right.
And you get the dive, but have you explained the bar part yet?
No, I didn't. I totally missed that. but I did explain it in an update.
Yeah.
But I did get the turning part.
Yeah.
So that's great. So even if you get part of the theme, it's still a really entertaining puzzle.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in this one.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Alpine Joy, and thank you all for joining us today. Morgie B 2019 said this was a very unique puzzle. Indeed,
Yes.
it's a very unique stream if you're implying
Right.
that. This was a lot of fun.
Thank
Thank you for doing this.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's do it.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us. This is Deb Amlen, Sam Ezersky, and Will Shortz
Woo.
for the New York Times. Have a happy Thursday.
See you next week, everybody.
Bye.